Hello friends, today here we will discuss 500 MCQ of Odisha General Study. It will cover history, geography, Indian polity and Odisha economy. Okay, so let's begin the session. Question number 1. Who was the founder of Eastern Ganga dynasty? Who was the founder of Eastern Ganga dynasty? That is option A, Anantavarman Chodaganga. Question number 2. Which Odia king fought against Ashoka in the Kalinga War? That is option D is the correct answer. The name is not recorded in the history. Question number 3. Who was the greatest king of Mahameghavana dynasty? That is option A, Kharvela. Kharvela was the most prominent ruler of Mahameghavana dynasty, known for his Hathigumpha inscription. Question number 4. The Hathigumpha inscription is found at, that is option D, Khandagiri. The Hathigumpha inscription which describes the reign of Kharvela is found in the Udaygiri Khandagiri cave complex. Question number 5. Which temple was built by Narasimhadeva I? That is Konark Sun Temple. Konark Sun Temple. Option C is the correct answer. The world famous Konark Sun Temple built by Narasimhadeva I in the 13th century of Eastern Ganga dynasty. Who led the Paika rebellion in 1817? That is Bakshi Jagabandhu. Option B is the correct answer. The Paika rebellion against British rule in 1870 was led by Bakshi Jagabandhu with strong participation from Paika. Question number 7. Which ruler of Odisha is known for extensive temple construction during the medieval period? That is Anantavarman Chodaganga. Option A is the correct answer. He built the Jagannath temple in Puri and promoted Vaishnavism. Next, Odisha was annexed into British India in which year? That is in the year 1803. Option B is the correct answer. The British East India Company annexed Odisha after defeating the Maratha in 1803. Who is known as Utkal Gaurav? That is Madhusudan Das. Option C. Madhusudan Das, known as Utkal Gaurav, played a vital role in the formation of separate Odisha province. Question number 10. The first Odia novel was written by option B, Fakir Mohan Senapati. Fakir Mohan Senapati wrote Chha Mana Atha Guntha, the first Odia novel focusing on land exploitation. Which ancient port of Odisha is mentioned in Roman literature? Which ancient port of Odisha is mentioned in Roman literature? That is option D, Palur. Palur was a significant ancient port in Kalinga, helped to Roman and Southeast Asian traders. The capital of Kharvela's kingdom was, that is Kalinga Nagara. Option C is the correct answer. Kalinga Nagara, modern day Shishupalgarh, was the capital of Kharvela's kingdom. Who established the Jagannath cult in Odisha? Who established Jagannath cult? That is Anantavarman Chodaganga. He built the Jagannath temple and institutionalized the Jagannath cult. Which British officer crushed the Paika rebellion? That is Captain Knox. Captain Knox. Option B is the correct answer. Captain Knox played a key role in suppressing the Paika rebellion of 1817. Who wrote the Hathigumpha inscription? That is option B, Kharvela. The inscription details Kharvela achievement and military campaign. Which dynasty introduced the title Gajapati? That is Eastern Ganga. The Ganga ruler, especially the Kapilendra Deva, used the title Gajapati. Which was the first capital of Odisha under British rule? That is option B, Cuttack. Cuttack remained the capital during early British rule until Bhubaneswar was declared capital in 1948. Who founded the Bhoi dynasty in Odisha? That is Ramachandra Deva I. Option C is the correct answer. Which Odia poet was also a freedom fighter and legislator? Which Odia poet was also freedom fighter and legislator? That is option B, Gopabandhu Das, known as Utkalamani. Gopabandhu was active in social reform and politics. Question number 20. Who was the main architect of modern Odisha statehood movement? That is option A, Madhusudan Das. He is hailed as the father of modern Odisha for uniting Odia speaking region. Question number 21. Who was the founder of Somavashi dynasty in Odisha? That is Yayati 1. Option A. Which dynasty ruled Odisha before the Eastern Ganga? Which dynasty? That is Soma Vamshis. Option A. Who among the following is associated with the revival of Buddhism in Odisha? That is Indrabhuti. Indrabhuti was a Buddhist scholar and founder of Vajrayana Buddhism in Odisha. Which port town of ancient Odisha was known for sea trade and Southeast Asia? That is Manikapatna. Option B is the correct answer. Manikapatna was the important port of facilitating maritime trade with Southeast Asia. The famous Chhau dance originated during the reign of which dynasty? That is Maratha. The martial dance form flourished during Maratha rule in Odisha. What was the capital of Odisha during the Maratha rule? That is option D, Khordha. Khordha served as a capital during the late 18th century under the Bhoi dynasty and Maratha influence. Which tribal revolt occurred in 1855 in Odisha? That is Kond revolt. Option B is the correct answer. Odisha was carved out as a separate province on 1st of April 1946. Option A is the correct answer. Odisha became a separate province based on language on 1st April 1936. Who led the freedom struggle in Sambalpur against British rule? Who led the freedom struggle in Sambalpur against British rule? That is Veer Surendra Sai. Option A is the correct answer. He fought against British oppression and tribal displacement in western Odisha. Question number 30. Which Odia leader was associated with the Indian National Congress and Swaraj Party? That is option C, Gopabandhu Das. Gopabandhu was actively involved in national politics through the Congress and Swaraj Party. Question number 31. Which temple in Odisha is famous for its unique arc-shaped gateway? That is option C, Mukteshwar Temple. Mukteshwar Temple in Bhubaneswar is known for its exquisite Torona arc gateway, a masterpiece of Kalinga architecture. The Lingaraj temple was built by which dynasty? That is Soma Vamshi dynasty. Option B is the correct answer. Built by Yayati II of the Somavashi dynasty in the 11th century. It is a classic example of Kalinga style temple architecture. The Rajarani temple in Bhubaneswar is a unique because it has no presiding deity. The temple is famous for its sculptural excellence and absence of a deity. It is Rajarani temple. Which temple is called Black Pagoda by European sailors? That is Konark Sun temple. Option A is the correct answer. The Sun temple at Konark, made of black granite, was a major navigation landmark. Which dynasty is credited with the golden period of temple building in Odisha? Which dynasty is credited with golden period of temple building in Odisha? That is Eastern Ganga. Option B is the correct answer. Which British era newspaper played a major role in Odisha linguistic identity movement? That is option A, Utkala Deepika. Utkala Deepika is founded by Gauri Shankar Rai in 1866. It advocated for the unification of Odia speaking region. Who is known as the father of Odia journalism? That is Gauri Shankar Roy. Gauri Shankar Roy. He launched the first Odia weekly Utkala Deepika to support Odia identity and culture. Which association was formed in 1903 to unite Odia speaking region? Which association was formed in 1903 to unite Odia speaking region? That is Utkal Sammelani, led by Madhusudan Das. Utkal Sammelani is led by Madhusudan Das. It played a major role in creation of separate Odisha province. The first session of Utkal Sammelani was held at option C, Cuttack. The first conference of Utkal Sammelani was held in 1903 at Cuttack. Who was the president of first Utkal Sammelani session? That is Madhusudan Das. Option A is the correct answer. As a leader of Odia unification movement, he presided over its first session. Utkal Sammelani first session by Madhusudan Das. What was the main goal of Utkal Sammelani? Form a separate state for Odia speaking people. Option B is the correct answer. Who among the following was not a part of Utkal Sammelani movement? Who among the not a part of Utkal Sammelani movement? Madhusudan Das, yes, he was in part of Utkal Sammelani. That is Subhash Chandra Bose. Subhash Chandra Bose is not a part of Utkal Sammelani. Who founded the newspaper The Samaja? That is Gopabandhu Das. Option A. Gopabandhu Das started the Samaja in 1919 to promote education and social reform. Which Odia personality was a delegate in the Round Table Conference in 1931? That is Nilakantha Das. Option D. He represented Odisha in the second Round Table Conference. The Utkal University was established in which year? That is in 1943. Option B is the correct answer. It was the 17th university in India established during British rule. Who founded the Satyavadi Banavidyalaya? That is Gopabandhu Das. Option B is the correct answer. This school promotes national education in an open air environment. In which year the capital of Odisha shifted from Cuttack to Bhubaneswar? That is in 1948. Option B is the correct answer. Bhubaneswar was developed as the modern capital post independence. Question 48. Who was the last ruler of Khurda before the British annexation? That is Ramachandra Deva III was the last ruler of Khurda before British annexation. Option A is the correct answer. Which female freedom fighter from Odisha is remembered for his role in Salt Satyagraha? That is option A, Rama Devi. Rama Devi participated in Salt Satyagraha and was jailed multiple times. The weekly Odia newspaper Prajatantra was started by Hare Krishna Mahatab. Option C is the correct answer. A prominent freedom fighter. He used the press as a tool for political awakening. Question number 51. Who was the first governor of Odisha after independence? Who was the first governor of Odisha after independence? That is option A, Kailashnath Kadju. Question number 52. The Quit India movement in Odisha was held by Gopabandhu Chaudhary. Option B is the correct answer. A freedom fighter who left the ICSC organized the Quit India protest in rural Odisha. Who was the first chief minister of Odisha? This Krishna Chandra Gajapati. He became the first premier of Odisha province in 1937. Who was known as Biplavi of Odisha for its revolutionary role in freedom movement? That is Lakshman Naik. Shahid Lakshman Naik. Option B is the correct answer. Tribal leader from Koraput who joined Gandhi's movement and was hanged by British. Who was the founder of Prajamandal movement in Odisha princely state? That is Navakrishna Chaudhary. Option A. Which Odia child martyr was killed by British police while protecting a boat during the Salt Satyagraha? That is Baji Raut. Option B is the correct answer. Question number 57. Which freedom fighter established a Congress Socialist Party in Odisha? Which freedom fighter established Congress Socialist Party in Odisha? It is option C, Navakrishna Chaudhary. In Odisha became full-fledged state of India in which year? Option C, 1950. Though formed in 1936, it became full-fledged state after the constitution came into effect in 1950. Okay. Who was the first woman freedom fighter and social reformer of Odisha? That is Sarada Devi. Option B is the correct answer. Which Odia leader is known as Iron Man of Odisha? That is option A, Biju Patnaik. Biju Patnaik was a daring pilot, politician and builder of modern Odisha. Biju Patnaik. Which tribal kingdom in Odisha strongly resisted British rule? It is option B, Sambalpur. Veer Surendra Sai led the tribal resistance in Sambalpur against British colonial force. Which inscription gives details about Kharvela's reign? That is Hathigumpha inscription. Who introduced the Kalinga style of temple architecture? Who introduced the Kalinga style of temple architecture? That is option C, Yati I. The Somavanshi ruler Yati I initiated the Kalinga style of temple building. Question number 64. The famous Jaina cave in Odisha located as Udaygiri and Khandagiri. Option B. These caves were carved during the reign of Kharvela for Jain monks. Who founded the Odisha State Museum? That is Hare Krishna Mahatab. Who was the first woman MP from Odisha? That is Sarada Devi was elected to the Central Legislative Assembly in 1936. Who wrote famous Odia patriotic poem Bande Utkala Janani? That is Lakshmikanta Kavi Lakshmikanta Mahapatra. Option C. Which movement demanded a separate Odisha province based on a language? That is Odia Unification Movement. Option B. Who among the following was famous Odia social reformer and freedom fighter? That is Gopabandhu Chaudhary. Option B. What was the original name of Odisha before independence? The Odisha province. It was referred as Odisha province during British rule. When was the name officially changed from Odisha to Odisha? That is 2011. 113 amendment officially renamed the Odisha. Renamed the state as Odisha. Who was the first female chief minister of Odisha? Yes, Nandini Satpathy was the first female chief minister of Odisha. Option C. Question number 73. Who is remembered as Flying Sikh of Odisha? Flying Sikh of Odisha. That is Biju Patnaik. Option A. Known for daring flying mission during freedom movement. Which district was formerly a princely state and merged with Odisha post independence? That is Kalahandi. Option B. Kalahandi was a princely state before joining Odisha in 1948. Question number 75. Which ancient capital city of Odisha is protected archaeological site today? That is option B, Shishupalgarh. Who was the chief patron of Jayadeva and the author of Gita Govinda? Option C. Lakshman Sen. When was the High Court of Odisha established? 1949. Option C is the correct answer. High Court of Odisha established at Cuttack in 1949. Who laid the foundation stone in Bhubaneswar as the capital city? Who laid the foundation stone? Jawaharlal Nehru. Nehru laid the foundation in 1948 as part of post-independence planning. In which year did Odisha participate in its first general election? It is in the election of 1951-52. Option A is the correct answer. Odisha participated in the first Lok Sabha and the State Assembly election post in independence. Which freedom fighter was popularly known as Odisha's Gandhi? That is Gopabandhu Chaudhary. Option B. Which was the first college in Odisha? That is Revensa College. Option A. Established in 1868, it became a center of intellectual and political activity. Who was Odisha's first education minister after independence? That is Nityananda Kanungo. Option A. Which Odia author is called the father of modern Odia prose? It is Fakir Mohan Senapati. Option B. Which Odia king built 108 Shiva temple in Bhubaneswar? That is Ananga Bhimadeva III. Which British officer led the conquest of Odisha in 1803? That is Colonel Harcourt. Which British officer led the conquest of Odisha in 1803? Colonel Harcourt. He led the British force and annexed Odisha from Maratha. The first Odia film Sita Vibha was released in 1936, directed by Mohan Sundar Dev Goswami. It marked the beginning of Odisha cinema. Who was the first Odia to go to jail during the freedom struggle? That is Gopabandhu Das. He was jailed for his role in non-cooperation movement. The capital of ancient Kalinga was located at Shishupalgarh. Option C. Archaeological excavation confirms Shishupalgarh was a major urban center. Who wrote Cha Mana Atha Gunta? That is Fakir Mohan Senapati. Option B. What was the Odisha status during Mughal period? That is Suba of Bengal. Option A. Who was the prominent Odia woman freedom fighter jailed multiple times for involvement in India freedom movement? That is option B. Rama Devi. Known as Mother of Odisha, Rama Devi participated in Salt Satyagraha with India movement and was imprisoned several times. Who founded Odisha first women organization and was pioneer in women's education? That is option B. Sarala Devi. Sarala Devi, a note writer reformer, promoted women's empowerment and was the first Odia woman to join the Legislative Council. What was the main slogan of Utkal Sammelani movement? That is one language, one state. Option C. Who led the Prajamandal movement in the princely state of Dhenkanal? That is Harmohan Patnaik. Option B. Harmohan Patnaik organized people against the feudal ruler in Dhenkanal and led the Prajamandal movement. Question number 95. After independence, which royal family continued as a ceremonial head in Puri? It is option C. Gajapati Maharaj family. Question number 96. Which was the first Odia daily newspaper? That is option B. Samaja, founded by Gopabandhu Das. The Samaja became the first daily to reach the masses with nationalist idea. Which Odisha king resisted Maratha aggression before the British takeover? That is Mukundadeva II. Option C. Mukundadeva II He was the last independent ruler of Khurda and fought both the Maratha and the British before Odisha annexation, which were directly led the British control over Odisha in 1803. It is Second Anglo-Maratha War. Option C. Odisha came under British rule after the victory over the Marathas in the Second Anglo-Maratha War in 1803. Which literary work by Fakir Mohan Senapati considered as satire on Brahmanical society? That is Revati. Option B. Revati is one of the earliest feminist story in Odia, highlighting conservative Brahmin opposition to girls' education. Question number 100. Which Odia woman was awarded Padma Bhushan for his contribution to social service? That is option B. Ramadevi. Now we'll start. History section is complete. Now we'll start geography. What is the geographical location of Odisha in terms of latitude and longitude? That is option A 18 degree north to 24 degree north and 81 degree east to 87 degree east. Option A is the correct answer. What is the total area of Odisha? That is 1,48,246 square kilometer. Option B. Odisha is the 8th largest state by area in India. What percentage of Odisha's land covered by forest? That is option C 37%. Odisha has significant forest cover, particularly in district of Kandhamal, Rayagada and Koraput. Which is the largest district of Odisha by area? That is option C Mayurbhanj. Chilika Lake is located in which district? That is Ganjam, Puri, Khurda. Okay. Chilika, the largest coastal lagoon in India, span across these three districts. The highest peak of Odisha is Deomali, located in Koraput district. Deomali stand at 1672 meter. Question number 107. Which river forms the largest river basin in Odisha? That is option C Mahanadi. Mahanadi basin cover about 65,580 square kilometer and is lifeline of Odisha. Question number 108. Which of the following river does not originate in Odisha? It is option C Suvarna Rekha. Suvarna Rekha originated in Jharkhand and enter Odisha near Mayurbhanj. Mahendragiri Hill is located in which district? It is option B Ganjam. Mahendragiri is considered as sacred and part of Eastern Ghat. Which type of soil is predominant in the coastal plain of Odisha? That is option B alluvial soil. Formed by river disposition, it is ideal for agriculture in a coastal region. The Hirakud Dam is built on which river? It is river Mahanadi. Option B. Hirakud, one of the longest dam in the world, was constructed on the river Mahanadi. Which river is known as the Saro of Odisha? That is option C Baitarani. Baitarani caused frequent flooding in the northern coastal district. The Simlipal Biosphere Reserve is located in which district? That is option B Mayurbhanj. Bhitarakonika National Park is famous for saltwater crocodile. Option B. What type of climate does the Odisha mostly experience? That is tropical monsoon. Option C is the correct answer. Which of the following is not a tributary of Mahanadi? That is Rushikulo is not a tributary of Mahanadi. Rushikulo is an independent east flowing river. What is the predominant mineral found in Odisha? that is iron ore, option C. Which district is known as rice bowl of Odisha? It is option B, Bargarh. Satkoshia Gorge is located in which river? In the river Mahanadi, option B. Which of the following district is located in southern plateau region of Odisha? That is option B, Ganjam. Which district of Odisha has the highest forest cover? It is option A, Kandhamal. Kandhamal district has the highest percentage of forest area in Odisha with over 70% of its land under forest. The Eastern Ghat in Odisha are also known as Garjhat Hill, option C. Which river flow between the Simlipal and Meghasani Hill? That is Budha Balunga, option C. Budha Balunga river originates from the Simlipal Hill and flow through the Mayurbhanj district. Which river originates from the Daringbadi Hill in Kandhamal? That is option B, Rushikula. Rushikula originates from Daringbadi Hill and flow through Ganjam to the Bay of Bengal. What is the average annual rainfall in Odisha? That is 1500 mm, option C. The major delta formed in coastal region of Odisha is by Mahanadi, Brahmani and Boitarani. That is option A. Mahanadi, Brahmani and Boitarani. This river form the largest deltic region in Odisha. Question number 127. The Chota Nagpur Plateau extend into which district of Odisha? Chota Nagpur Plateau extend into which district of Odisha? That is Mayurbhanj and Sundargarh. Option B. The largest waterfall in Odisha by volume, that is Bhorai Pani. Located in Simlipal, Bhorai Pani in Odisha is the highest and the most voluminous waterfall. Which river form the boundary between Odisha and Andhra Pradesh in the south? That is Vamsadhara, option C. Vamsadhara flow through southern Odisha, enter Andhra Pradesh, creating eastern boundary issue. Then which mineral is mined at Damanjadi in Odisha? That is bauxite, option B is the correct answer. Which river flow through the Hirakut reservoir? That is option B, Mahanadi. The Black Pagoda is located in which coastal district? That is in Puri, option C. Which crop occupy the maximum cultivated area in Odisha? It is paddy, option B. Which of the following cities lies in the Mahanadi Delta? It is option C, Bhubaneswar. The Talcher coalfield are located in which district? That is option A, Angul. The second largest lake in Odisha after Chilika is Ansupa, option A. Ansupa Lake near Cuttack is a freshwater lake known for its scenic beauty and biodiversity. Odisha shares its western border with which Indian state? Which Indian state? That is Chhattisgarh. Option D is the correct answer. Which district is famous for terracotta and brass handicraft in Odisha, western Odisha? That is option D, Sonpur. Sonpur, that is Subarnapur, is known for its traditional terracotta and brass craft work. The longest river flowing entirely within Odisha, that is Rushikula, option A. Which region in Odisha most prone to cyclone? That is eastern coastal plain, option B. The Kolab Dam is located in which district? It is option B, Koraput district. The Kolab Dam built on Kolab River is a key hydroelectric and irrigation project in Koraput. The famous waterfall Duduma lies in which river? It is Machkund. Option D. Which of the following district of Odisha has a coastline? It is Khurda. Khurda district includes part of Chilika Lake and has a coastline stretch. Odisha share its northern boundary with which state? Northern boundary with which state? That is Jharkhand. Option B. Which major river of Odisha is a rain-fed and causes seasonal flood? That is option A, Mahanadi. Which of these cities is the closest to the Tropic of Cancer in Odisha? That is option B, Rourkela. Rourkela. Which is the southernmost district of Odisha? That is option B, Malkangiri. Malkangiri lies at the extreme southern tip of Odisha, bordering Andhra Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Which Odisha district is known for high-grade manganese or ore deposit? That is option A, Sundargarh. The deltic plain of Odisha are mainly found in which region? It is in coastal region. Option C. Coastal Odisha consists of fertile deltic plain formed by rivers like Mahanadi, Baitarani and Brahmani. The Hirakud reservoir is primarily used for flood control and irrigation. Option C. Which city is known as Silver City of Odisha? That is option C, Cuttack. Cuttack is nicknamed Silver City due to its rich silver filigree Tarakasi work. Which river is considered as sacred and used for cremation or ritual in Odisha? That is option A, Baitarani. Baitarani is considered a holy river, especially for ancestral rite. What is the primary cause of soil erosion in western Odisha? That is option C, deforestation. Cutting down of tree on hills and slope has led to soil erosion in Odisha. Which lake is being developed as an ecotourism site near Bhubaneswar? That is Ansupa Lake, known for bird watching and boating, is growing ecotourism attraction near Cuttack, Bhubaneswar. Which Odisha district is known for hot spring at Taptabani? That is option A, Ganjam. The eastern coastal plain in Odisha are part of which physiographic division of India? That is option C, coastal plain. Odisha is India's largest producer of which mineral? Option C, iron ore. Which forest type is most common in Odisha? That is option B, deciduous forest. The Chandaka sanctuary near Bhubaneswar is famous for which animal? That is option C, elephant. Which Odisha city is home to largest port in the state? It is option D, Paradip. Paradip port is the largest and India's major seaport on the eastern coast. Which Odisha river is most suitable for hydroelectric power generation? It is option B, Indravati. The only Ramsar recognized brackish water lagoon in Odisha is Chilika Lake. Option B. Chilika is Asia's largest brackish water lagoon and Ramsar site since 1981. Which Odisha's district lie at tri-junction of Odisha, Andhra Pradesh and Chhattisgarh? That is option A, Malkangiri. Malkangiri district share border with Andhra Pradesh, Chhattisgarh. Which of the following is a port town of Odisha? Port town of Odisha is option C, Paradip. Paradip is a major port located at the Mahanadi river mouth. Which Odisha river originates from the Amarkantak plateau in Chhattisgarh? That is option A, Mahanadi. Mahanadi rises from Amarkantak region in Chhattisgarh and flow through Odisha. Which Odisha town is situated on the bank of the Rushikala river? That is option A, Barimpur. The coastal plain of Odisha is found by river deposition, option C. The coastal plain are alluvial deposit found by Mahanadi, Brahmani and Baitarani. The Utkal plain belong to which larger physiographic region? That is eastern coastal plain, option B. Which district in Odisha has both forest and tribal population in abundance? That is option B, Kandhamal. Kandhamal is known for its dense forest and large tribal population, especially Kons. Which river creates spectacular Bada Ghagra and Sana Ghagra waterfall? That is not D, option not D, that is option B, Macha Kandana, option B. The city of Raurkela is located on the bank of which river? That is option C, Brahmani. Raurkela lies on the bank of Brahmani river and house a large steel plant. Which district known for its hot and dry climate in Odisha? That is option B, Kalahandi. The delta formed by Brahmani and Baitarani is called Bhitarakanika delta, option C. The delta formed by Brahmani and Baitarani river hosts the Bhitarakanika mangrove forest. Which Odisha region is a part of KBK region? That is Kalahandi, Balangir, Koraput, option B. Which Odisha river flow through the eastern Ghat? That is Kulab, option B. Which district of Odisha is largest producer of turmeric? Option A, Kandhamal. Kandhamal turmeric has GI tag status and originally grown by tribal farmer. What is the main feature of Eastern Ghat in Odisha? That is dissected hill and valley, option C. Subarnarekha river flow through which northern district of Odisha? That is option C, Mayurbhanj. Which Odisha city is planned as modern capital post-independence? That is option B, Bhubaneswar. Bhubaneswar was developed and planned city by German architect Otto Koenigsberger in 1948. Which Odisha city has been declared smart city under smart city mission? That is option C, Bhubaneswar. Which Odisha city is located near the confluence of Mahanadi and Kathajodi river? It is option C, Cuttack. Which of the following area in Odisha is most affected by annual flood? It is option C, coastal plain. Balimala reservoir is located in which district? Option B, Malkangiri district. The Baitarani river drain into which body of water? That is Bay of Bengal, option B. Famous hot spring Atri is situated in which district? That is option B, Khordha. Atri hot spring tourist attraction near Bhubaneswar known for its medicinal property. Odisha has how many districts with coastline? That is 8 districts. Which are they are Ganjam, Puri, Khordha, Jagatsinghpur, Kendrapada, Bhadrak, Baleshwar and Gajapati. The largest river island in Odisha is Mahanadi and Cuttack. Which of the following Odisha district has no forest cover? Jagatsinghpur. Jagatsinghpur has very minimal forest due to its dense human settlement and coastal character. The Eastern Ghat run predominantly through which direction in Odisha? That is option C, northwest to southeast. Which Odisha district is best known for its laterite soil? that is option C, Kalahandi. Which of the following, what is the approximate length of Odisha's coastline? That is 385. Odisha coastline is around 480 km, but in a straight line distance as per coastal profile it is approximately 385. When it is in straight line the distance is 385, and when it is measured like this then the distance is more than 450 or 480. Which Odisha lake is located in horseshoe shape? That is Ansupa, option B. The highest rainfall in Odisha recorded at option A, Koraput. Which Odisha hill range contain iron ore and manganese deposit? That is Garjhat Hill. Garjhat Hill, option A. Garjhat Hill in western Odisha contain rich mineral resource like iron ore and manganese. Which river of Odisha is considered to be the most polluted due to industrial discharge? That is option B, Brahmani. Brahmani river is heavily polluted by effluents from Raurkela steel plant and other industry. The predominant irrigation system in Odisha is canal irrigation. Most of the Odisha's irrigation is done through canal system, especially in coastal and delta region. Which district in Odisha known for large scale cashew nut farming? That is option B, Ganjam. The only active lighthouse in Odisha located at option A, Gopalpur. Gopalpur on sea hosts a functioning lighthouse for navigation on the Bay of Bengal. What is the main agriculture season in Odisha? That is option B, Kharif. The major geographical division of Odisha that contain Koraput and Malkangiri, that is Eastern Ghat, Southern Hill, option C. Now we completed the geography section. Now economy section. Economy. What is the primary sector contributing to Odisha's gross state domestic product? That is option C, service sector. Though traditionally agrarian, Odisha's economy has seen significant growth in service sector like education, health and IT. Which mineral contribute the highest revenue to Odisha economy? That is option C, iron ore. What is the main cash crop grown in Odisha? That is option B, sugarcane. The Odisha Industrial Infrastructure Development was established in 1983. Which of the following steel plant is a public sector undertaking in Odisha? That is option C, Raurkela Steel Plant. Raurkela Steel Plant is supported by Steel Authority of India Limited, a public sector undertaking, PSU. Which district in Odisha famous for aluminium production? That is option B, Koraput district. Which sector employ the highest percentage of Odisha's population? That is option A, agriculture. Odisha's startup policy was launched in which year? In year 2016, option B. What is the name of government flagship food security scheme in Odisha? That is State Food Security Scheme, option D. Launched in 2018 to cover people left out of National Food Security Act. Which river valley is the largest irrigation potential in Odisha? That is option B, Mahanadi. The Krushak Assistance for Livelihood and Income Augmentation, that is Kalia scheme, aims to landless farmer and cultivator, option B. Which is the largest thermal power plant in Odisha? That is TTPS Talcher. Option A. Talcher Thermal Power Station is major coal-fired plant operated by NTPC. The Bhubaneswar IT investment region is located in which area? That is Info Valley. Option B. Which body is responsible for collecting mineral royalties in Odisha? That is Department of Steel and Mines. Option C. Which port in Odisha handle the largest volume of cargo? That is option C. Paradip Port. Paradip Port is among India's top cargo handling port, especially for coal and iron ore. Odisha's government flagship skill development program is called Odisha Skill Development Authority. Option D is the correct answer. The handloom hub of Odisha, famous for Sambalpuri sari, located in Bargarh. Option A. What is Odisha rank in coal production in India? Option B. Second. Odisha is second largest producer of coal after Jharkhand. The economic zone near Dharma port is developed primarily for option B. Petroleum and chemicals. The unemployment rate in Odisha as per recent estimate, that is below national average. The largest industrial state in Odisha located at Mancheshwar. Option C. Which crop is most dependent on irrigation in Odisha? That is option B. Paddy. The state-run industrial development body in Odisha is option C. IDCO, that is Industrial Development Corporation of Odisha, is responsible for industrial infrastructure. Odisha Millet Mission aims to promote cultivation of cereals. Option B. The state budget of Odisha prepared by which department? That is Finance Department. Option C. Odisha MSME development policy primarily focus on promoting small and medium enterprises. Option C. The major industrial corridor passing through Odisha, that is East Coast Economic Corridor. Option D. Which of the following sector gets the highest share in Odisha annual budget? That is education. Education receives a significant portion due to investment in school, hostel and skill center. Which industrial area in Odisha is known for aluminium smelting? That is option A. Angul. Nalco operate an aluminium smelter at Angul utilizing local bauxite and power resources. Option A is the correct answer, Angul. What percentage of Odisha workforce engaged in agriculture and allied activities? Approximately 60%. Option D is the correct answer. Odisha is one of the top producer of which aquatic product? That is option A. Shrimp. The main objective of Odisha Mo Sarkar initiative is option B. Transparency in government service. Option B. The Odisha state budget follow which financial year? April to March. Option B. The World Bank supported livelihood project in Odisha known as Odisha Livelihood Mission, OLM. Option C. Which sector has the fastest growth rate in Odisha's economy in recent year? That is in service sector. What is the name of petroleum refinery being developed in Odisha? That is IOCL Paradip Refinery. Option A. The One District One Product scheme in Odisha promote a unique product per district. Option B. Odisha fiscal responsibility is guided by FRBM Act. Option C. The Fiscal Responsibility and Budget Management Act ensure fiscal discipline. Which authority manages special economic zone in Odisha? That is Ministry of Commerce and Industry, option C. Which international airport boosts economic connectivity for Odisha? That is Bhubaneswar Biju Patnaik International Airport, option A. What is the major source of non-tax revenue in Odisha? That is option C, mining royalties. The Odisha government Make in Odisha initiative aim to attract investment in manufacturing, option C. The annual investment summit in Odisha is called, the annual investment summit in Odisha is called Make in Odisha Conclave, option D. Which of the following crop is not grown as a major Rabi crop in Odisha? That is rice, option D. Rice is mainly grown in Kharif season. Rabi crop include pulses, wheat and oilseed. What is the primary goal of Odisha state agriculture policy? That is doubling the farmers' income, option C. Odisha Forest Development Corporation earns maximum revenue from timber, option B. Which city is the key hub for seafood processing in Odisha? That is option C, Paradip. Option C, Paradip. The tribal dominated economy of southern Odisha mainly depends on forest produce and agriculture, option B. What is the focus area of Odisha fishery policy? That is enhancing fish production and exporting, option B. Which of the following district is most industrialized in Odisha? It is option B, Jharsuguda. Odisha is the largest producer of which type of power among the following? That is thermal, option C. Odisha generates most of its electricity from coal-based thermal power plant. What percentage of Odisha total area under irrigation? That is option B, 25%. Which of the following is a private steel plant in Odisha? That is option B, JSPL, Angul. Jindal Steel and Power Limited operate a major steel plant in Angul district. Private steel plant in Odisha, JSPL, Angul. Which mineral has Odisha not been a major producer of? Copper, option B. The Mission Shakti initiative of the Odisha government empower women self-help groups, option C. Odisha's economy is classified as mixed economy, option D. Which industrial sector contribute the most to Odisha's export? That is metallurgical product, option C. The major raw material for cement plant in Odisha is found in Sundargarh, option B. Which state is the biggest trade partner of Odisha in interstate commerce? That is option D, West Bengal. The Odisha Skill Development Project was supported by Asian Development Bank, option C. The Hirakud Dam contributes significantly to Odisha economy through hydropower and irrigation, option B. The Odisha Mineral Exploration Corporation Limited was formed to explore and assess mineral resource, option C. The Amo Gaon Amo Vikas scheme focus on rural infrastructure development. The key agriculture export from Odisha is option B, cashew. Which district of Odisha famous for turmeric cultivation and trade? That is option C, Kandhamar. The Bhubaneswar town center district is planned to become a smart business district, option B. Which scheme provide input subsidy for agriculture during natural calamities in Odisha? That is which in provide natural calamity, that is Kalia. Odisha Industrial Policy IPR focus primarily on promoting greenfield industry. Option B. The GI tag textile product from Odisha is, that is option B, Sambalpuri saris. What is the full form of OMECL? What is the full form of OMECL? That is Odisha Mineral Exploration Corporation Limited. Option B. What is the Odisha rank in terms of steel production? That is rank 1, first. The Odisha Agri Export Policy focuses on which product cluster? That is option D, spices. The main source of Odisha budget deficit financing is option C, market borrowing. The Handicraft Development Corporation of Odisha primarily promotes tribal and traditional craft. Which Odisha city is emerging as a hub of education and IT? That is option B, Bhubaneswar. Odisha's economy is especially vulnerable to natural disaster. The frequent cyclone, flood and drought affect agriculture and livelihoods in Odisha. Odisha Agro Industry Corporation mainly deals with subsidized fertilizer and tools. Option B. Which scheme promotes zero budget natural farming in Odisha? That is Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana. Option B. Which department is responsible for tourism development in Odisha? That is Culture and Tourism Department. Option B. Which of the following is not a SEZ in Odisha? That is Konark SEZ. Option D. Odisha State Beverages Corporation is responsible for option B, alcohol distribution and regulation. What is the main function of the Odisha State Seed Corporation OSSC? That is production and distribution of quality seed. Option C. The major handloom cluster in Western Odisha is Sambalpur. Option B. The largest public sector undertaking in Odisha by turnover is NALCO. Option B. NALCO headquarters is in Bhubaneswar. The Integrated Tribal Development ITDA Integrated Tribal Development Agency ITDA focuses on tribal welfare and economic upliftment. Option B is the correct answer. Which city is being developed as a textiles hub under Odisha Industrial Policy? That is Chaudhar. Chaudhar has been identified for the textile and apparel manufacturing cluster. The Mo Upakari Bagicha scheme promote option C, Nutri Garden in rural area. Odisha largest dairy cooperative is Omfed. Option B. The key cash crop of Western Odisha is cotton. Option C. Odisha government scheme PITHA is related to public awareness and welfare service. The Odisha Mineral Bearing Area Development Corporation work for welfare of people in mining affected district. Option C. The Odisha State Financial Corporation provide industrial finance to MSME. Option B. A major agriculture fair organized by Odisha government is called Krushi Odisha. Option B. Which mineral in Odisha important for cement and is found in abundance in Sundargarh? That is option A, limestone. The primary purpose of Odisha food processing policy. The primary purpose of Odisha food processing policy is to encourage value addition in farm produce. Option C. What is the name of Odisha mission to promote self-employment among youth? That is Startup Odisha, option A. The main export destination of Odisha seafood is option C, USA. USA is the largest importer of Odisha processed shrimp and seafood. The main source of drinking water project in rural Odisha is funded under Jal Jeevan Mission, option C. Odisha Industrial Infrastructure Development Corporation primarily develops industrial estate and land banks, option C. Odisha's largest trading port in terms of cargo handling is option B, Paradip Port. What is the main function of the Odisha Khadi and Village Industry Board, OKVIB? That is promotion of traditional rural industry, option C. Which port in Odisha being developed as a deep draft port under PPP model? That is Dhamra Port, option C. Dhamra Port is deep water all-weather port deployed by Adani Group under PPP with Odisha Government. PPP is public-private partnership. Odisha's largest bauxite reserve are found in option C, Koraput. The main economic benefit of Chilika Lake, that is fishing and ecotourism, option A. Odisha has a rich chromite reserve mainly located in Keonjhar, option B. Sukinda Valley in Kendujhar district has some of the world largest chromite deposit. Which of these is a question number 306? Which of these is a GI tagged agriculture product from Odisha? That is option D, Kandamal turmeric. Which mission focus on modernizing and mechanizing agriculture in Odisha? That is option C, Mukhyamantri Krishi Udyog Yojana. Odisha largest employment program in the rural sector is Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act ensure 100 days of working annual to rural household, option B. Which policy aims to boost export from Odisha? That is Odisha Export Policy, option B. The main revenue source of Panchayati Raj institution is grant from state government, option B. Odisha rank among the top state in which mineral export category? That is iron ore. The Odisha Tourism Development Corporation primarily focuses on infrastructure for tourist, option B. The term Odisha Economic Survey refer to the government's report on economic status of the states, option C. What is the key agricultural challenge in western Odisha? That is option C, drought. The Odisha Bamboo Development Agency promote bamboo cultivation and industry, option C. What is the focus of Odisha Food Processing Policy 2022? That is option C, end support for food value chain, option C. What is the Odisha is a part of which national freight corridor plan? That is Eastern Coastal Freight Corridor, option C. The Odisha Renewable Energy Development Agency promote solar, wind and bioenergy, option C. Which scheme aims to connect farmer to e-market in Odisha? That is option B, INAM. Which is the nodal agency for industrial promotion in Odisha? That is IPCOL. That is the Industrial Promotion Investment Corporation of Odisha Limited. The Mo College Abhijan in Odisha is aimed at connecting alumni with college. That is option B. The main component of Odisha's gross state domestic product is service sector, option C. The Mukhyamantri Karma Tatpara Abhiyan Mukta focus on urban wage employment, option A. Which of the following has a special economic zone for IT and electronic? That is Bhubaneswar Info Valley, option B. The Odisha Skill Development Authority aims to provide vocational training to youth, option C. Odisha Startup Policy offer incentive to young entrepreneur and tech startup, option C. Which of the following district is a major center for a sweet water aquaculture in Odisha? That is option B, Kendrapada. The key challenge in Odisha mining sector is, that is environmental degradation and displacement, option C, the correct answer. Odisha Millet Mission is coordinated by which department? It is coordinated by Agriculture and Farmer Empowerment Department, option C. A major challenge in Odisha's handloom sector is lack of modern marketing and e-commerce, option C. The Biju Economic Corridor is purposed to connect mining area and industrial hub, option B. What is Odisha's rank in terms of mineral production among Indian states? That is first. Which district is a major producer of groundnut in Odisha? That is option B, Ganjam. What does the Odisha Renewable Energy Policy 2022 aims to achieve? That is increasing share of solar and wind power. What is the aim of integrated livelihood mission in Odisha? That is option C, poverty alleviation through SSG. Odisha's largest multimodal logistic park is developed in Jharsuguda, option C. Which scheme ensure minimum support price for paddy procurement in Odisha? That is option C, paddy procurement automation system. Which type of tourism is being promoted around Bhitarakanika National Park? That is option B, eco-tourism. Which Odisha's district known for iron ore mining and sponge iron plant? That is option B, Keonjhar. Odisha's logistic policy aims to, option C, improve connectivity, port, highway and industrial zone. What is the objective of Odisha MSME development policy? That is strengthening support micro, small and medium enterprise, option C. Which mineral rich belt in Odisha is also called mining corridor? That is Banspal, Bhadrasahi, Keonjhar region, option C. The Odisha Film Development Corporation contribute to the economy through film production and employment, option C. The NABARD Rural Infrastructure Development Fund support Odisha by financing rural infrastructure like road, irrigation and storage, option B. The term Odisha Economic Corridor is associated with which major national project? That is option B, Bharatmala Pariyojana, option B. The Odisha Startup Hub is located in Bhubaneswar, option C. Which type of fish contribute most to Odisha inland fish production? That is option C, Rohu. What is the full form of IDCO? That is Industrial Development Corporation of Odisha, option D. The Odisha Millet Mission was launched in which year? In year 2017, option C. Which district in Odisha has shown highest growth in urbanization recently? That is Khordha, option B. When did Odisha attain the status of separate province? In 1936, based on a linguistic identity. What is the total number of seats in the Odisha Legislative Assembly? That is 147. Who is the head of the state government in Odisha? That is option B, Chief Minister. Chief Minister is the real executive head of the state government. The Governor of Odisha appointed by President of India. The Governor of Odisha appointed by President of India under Article 155. Which article of Indian Constitution deals with the creation of new state like Odisha? That is Article 3. Article 3 empower Parliament to create a new state or alter the state boundary. Who was the first Prime Minister of Odisha? That is Krishna Chandra Gajapati. Option C. Who is the Governor of Odisha? Who was the current Governor of Odisha? It is Haribabu Khambapati. Option A. Odisha Legislative Assembly is unicameral house. Odisha has a single legislative chamber, the Legislative Assembly. Who preside over the session of Odisha Legislative Assembly? That is Speaker. Option C. The Speaker is the presiding officer of the State Assembly. What is the tenure of Odisha Legislative Assembly? Option C. 5 years. Odisha Public Service Commission established in 1949. 1st April 1949 for requirement to civil service. Who appoints the Advocate General of Odisha? That is option C. Governor. High Court for Odisha is located at Cuttack. Option C. How many divisions does Odisha have administratively? That is 3 divisions: central, northern and southern. Which of the following bodies oversees Panchayati Raj election in Odisha? That is Odisha State Election Commission. Option C. How many districts are there in Odisha as of 2024? That is 33. The Panchayati Raj system in Odisha has how many tiers? That is 3. Option B. Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti and Jila Parishad. The Biju Janata Dal was formed in which year? That is 1997. After Biju Patnaik's death. Which party has ruled Odisha continuously since 2000 to 2024? BJD. Option D. State Human Rights Commission in Odisha established in 2007. Option C. The official language of Odisha? Option C. Odia. Odia is the first language from the Indo-Aryan group to get a classical language status. Odia is the first language from Indo-Aryan group to get a classical language status. Which constitutional body advised the governor on civil service appointment in Odisha? That is Odisha Public Service Commission, OPSC. Which law governs the functioning of urban local body in Odisha? That is Odisha Municipal Act. How many municipal corporations are there in Odisha as of 2024? There are 4 municipal corporations. Option B. Who prepare the annual budget for the state of Odisha? That is Finance Minister. Option C. Which is the highest law making body in the Odisha body in the state of Odisha? That is option C. Legislative Assembly. The Vidhan Sabha enact law for the state. Who chairs the State Planning Board of Odisha? That is Chief Minister. The Chief Minister head of the State Planning Board, which review development activities. What is the term of office of the Governor of Odisha? That is option C. 5 years. As per Article 156, the Governor holds the office for 5 years but serve at the President's pleasure. Who appoints the Chief Minister of Odisha? Option C. Governor. The Panchayati Raj Department in Odisha comes under which ministry? That is Rural Development Ministry. Option B. The quorum required for a session of Odisha Legislative Assembly is 1/5 of the total membership. Option B. Which article of a constitution gives power to governor to promulgate ordinance? That is Article 213, option B. What is the minimum age to become an MLA in Odisha? That is option B, 25 years. The Odisha State Election Commission was established in 1993, option B. The State Election Commission constituted under the Article 243K in 1993. What is the primary function of Odisha Legislative Assembly? Primary function of Odisha Legislative Assembly is make law and approve the budget, option C. The highest judicial authority in Odisha is High Court of Odisha, option C. How many Vidhan Sabha constituencies are reserved for a scheduled tribe in Odisha? There is 41, option D. Which commission decided the delimitation of assembly constituency? That is Delimitation Commission of India, option B. The Lokayukta Act, Lokayukta in Odisha was established in which year? That is 2018, option C. Odisha passed Lokayukta Act in 2014 and it became functional in 2018 to fight corruption. Lokayukta Act is to fight corruption. How many Rajya Sabha members represent Odisha? Option C, 10. The Speaker of Odisha Legislative Assembly is elected by? Option C, Assembly members. The minimum age to vote in Odisha Assembly is 18. As per 61 Constitutional Amendment Act, 18 years is the voting age. Which of the following is the key function of Gram Panchayat in Odisha? That is option C, implementation of rural development scheme. What is the highest elected position in a Gram Panchayat in Odisha? What is the highest election position in Gram Panchayat in Odisha? That is option A, Sarpanch. Sarpanch is the elected head of the Gram Panchayat. Which institution handle grievance related to right to information RTI in Odisha? That is Odisha Information Commission, option B. Who is administrative head of the district in Odisha? That is Collector and District Magistrate, option C. Who is responsible for law and order in the state of Odisha? That is state government, option C. The Odisha State Finance Commission is constituted every 5 years, option D. Which body manage land record and revenue in Odisha? That is Department of Revenue and Disaster Management, option B. The Chief Justice of Odisha High Court is appointed by? Option C, President of India. The Simplified Biosphere Reserve is located in which district? That is in Mayurbhanj district, option A. Simlipaal is a tiger reserve and UNESCO designated biosphere reserve in the northern district of Mayurbhanj. Which is the official state festival of Odisha? That is Utkala Divasa, option D. Utkala Divasa is celebrated in 1st of April, commemorate the formation of Odisha as a separate province in 1936. Who was the first woman governor? That is Srimati Rama Devi, option D. Which dance form originated in Odisha and internationally renowned? Odissi, option C. Who is the famous tribal freedom fighter from Odisha? It is Shahid Lakshman Naik, option C. Which is the largest river in Odisha by length? That is river Mahanadi, option A. The Odisha Sahitya Academy was established in which year? That is in 1957. Odisha Sahitya Academy in 1957. The academy promote Odia literature and author. Who built the famous Lingaraj temple in Bhubaneswar? That is Yayati Keshari of Somavashi dynasty initiated the construction of temple. Option B. The Ghairmatha beach in Odisha is famous for turtle nesting. Option B. In which year did the Odisha Legislative Assembly pass a resolution to declare Odisha as a classical language? In the year 2011. In the 2012. Option B. Odisha declared classical language in 2014 after the 2012 state resolution. Which steel plant in Odisha is run by SEAL? That is Raurkela. The Hirakud Dam is built across which river? Across river Mahanadi. Option A. What is the full form of OTDC? That is Odisha Tourism Development Corporation. Option C. What is the traditional weapon based on a martial art of Odisha? That is Paika Akhoda. Option D. Practiced by Paika community, this martial art played a role in resisting British colonialism. Which Odisha city is known as Silver City? That is option C, Cuttack. Who is the first Odia to become President of India? That is Draupadi Murmu. Option D. Draupadi Murmu became the 15th President of India and the first Odia to hold the position. What is the name of Odia folk literature theatre form? It is Jatra. Option A. The Raja festival in Odisha celebrated to honor womanhood and menstruation. Option C. Raja mark the fertility of the earth and is dedicated to celebrating womanhood. Who wrote the epic Sarala Mahabharata? That is option C, Sarala Das. Sarala Das, known as Adi Kavi of Odia literature and authored the Odia version of Mahabharata. The tribal festival Chattira Parva is associated with which community? It is the tribal festival Chattira Parva is associated with which community? That is option D, Chhau dancer. Chattira Parva is celebrated by Chhau dancer and is vibrant display of tribal martial art and tradition. The famous Pattachitra painting of Odisha are traditionally painted on palm leaf and cloth. Option C is the correct answer. What is the full form of Kalia scheme? That is Krushak assistance for livelihood and income augmentation. That is option A. The Bhubaneswar Smart City project was launched under which mission? That is Smart City mission. Option D. The capital city of ancient Kalinga was option D, Tosali. Tosali was a major city and the ancient capital of Kalinga during the Mayuran period. Who was the famous Odia freedom fighter known as Lion of Odisha? That is Madhusudan Das. Option A. Madhusudan Das played a key role in Odisha political educational development. Was the first Odia to become a lawyer. Chilika Lake connects to the Bay of Bengal through Satapada. Option B. What is the name of Odisha first women university? That is option A, Ramadevi Women University, established in 2015 in name after freedom fighter Ramadevi. Which traditional music instrument is most commonly associated with Odissi dance? That is option B, Mardala. Mardala is the principal percussion instrument used in a Odissi classical music. The largest coal reserve in Odisha found in option A, Talcher. Which famous temple of Odisha is known as spiritual capital of the state? That is option C, Puri. Puri is famous for Jagannath temple and Rath Yatra festival, drawing pilgrim from across India. Which Odia poet known for writing Rektha style and associated with the Bhakti movement? That is Jagannath Das. Option D. He translated Bhagavad Gita into Odia and contributed to Bhakti literature. What is the historical importance of Daya river near Dhauli? That is Kalinga War took place. Option C is the correct answer. Kalinga War in 261 BC. Rashogolla sweet Odisha received GI tag in which year? That is in 2019. Which mineral is majorly extracted from Sukinda Valley in Odisha? That is chromite. Option C. Sukinda Valley in Jajpur district, one of the world largest deposit of chromite. The Bonda tribe in Odisha primarily reside in Bonda Hills. Option D. Bonda Hill in Malkangiri. The Satkoshia Tiger Reserve is spread across which two districts? That is Anugull and Nayagarh. Option A. What is Berhampur also known as? That is Silk City. Option C. The tribal festival Parab is celebrated in which district? That is Koraput district. Option B. Parab is a tribal cultural festival celebrated annually in Koraput, showcasing tribal dance, music and handicraft. The Siali beach is located in which district of Odisha? Siali beach in Jagatsinghpur. The famous Chhau dance of Odisha is native to which region? Chhau dance native to which region? It is option A, Mayurbhanj. What is the name of first Odia novel? That is Padma Mali. Option B, Padma Mali by Umesh Chandra Sharkar was the first Odia novel published in 1857. Who was the first Odia to become a Chief Justice of India? That is option A, Ranganath Mishra. The Odisha handloom product Sambalpuri sari famous for which style of weaving? That is Ikat. The Nava Kalabara ritual in Jagannath temple involves reinstallation of deities with new idols. Option B. In which district the famous Harishankar temple located? That is option A, Bolangir. Who was the founder of modern Odisha movement? That is option B, Madhusudan Das. Known also Utkal Gaurav, Madhusudan will play key role in formation of separate province. Odisha as separate province. The Kalikot University located in which city? That is option D, Berhampur. The Bargad Dhanu Yatra is dramatization of which epic? That is Ramayana. Option B. Dhanu Yatra, world largest open air theatre based on a Krishna slaying of Kamsa. The famous Khandagiri and Udayagiri cave are attributed to which king? That is option B, Kharavela king. The Jain cave were built during the reign of King Kharavela in the 1st century BCE. What is the official state song of Odisha? That is option A, Bande Utkala Janani, written by Kantakavi Lakshmikanta Mahapatra. It was officially adopted as the state anthem in 2020. Which of the following place in Odisha is famous for ancient Buddhist site? That is option B, Dhauligiri. Dhauligiri near Bhubaneswar feature Ashokan edict and a peace pagoda marking the Kalinga War's aftermath. Question number 452. What is the name of the river island located in Mahanadi River in Odisha? That is Katak Island or Jobra. Option D. Who is the founder of Kalinga Empire according to inscription? It is Meghvahana. Option D. The Mahameghavana dynasty to which Kharvela belonged is credited with establishing the Kalinga Empire. What is the traditional headgear worn by Odia men during festival? That is Sambalpuri Safa. Option D. Which district in Odisha, which district is the largest producer of turmeric in Odisha? That is Kandhamal. In Odisha, the Lok Mahotsav celebrated in option A, Sambalpur. The Chandaka Dampara Wildlife Sanctuary is located near which city? That is option B, Bhubaneswar. Chandaka forest near Bhubaneswar known for elephant and other wildlife. The first Odia film Sita Bibaha was released in the year 1932. Sita Bibaha was released in 1932 and directed by Mohan Sundar Dev Goswami. The famous Boita Bandhana festival commemorate the maritime history of Odisha. Option C. People float miniature boat to honor ancient trader Sadhavas who sailed the Southwest Asia. The classical music tradition associated with Odissi dance is called Odissi Sangita. Option C. What is the traditional Odia festival associated with with agriculture and celebrated mainly by farmer? That is Nuakhai. Option B. Nuakhai is harvest festival specially popular in western Odisha, marking the first consumption of rice. Which is the oldest existing newspaper in Odia language? That is Samaj. The Samaj. The Samaj was founded by Gopabandhu Das in 1919. The is one of the Odisha's oldest newspaper. The Bhagavata Tungi in rural Odisha refers to place for group recitation of Bhagavata Purana. Option C. Option C is the correct answer. Who is popularly known as the father of modern literature? Father of modern literature, that is Fakir Mohan Senapati. Option C. The kendu leaf from Odisha primarily used for beadi making. Option D. The patta in patta chitra repainting refers to cloth. Option B. Which tribal group of Odisha known for practicing shifting cultivation and living in remote hilly areas? Option D. Cones. Who is the founder of Kalinga Institute of Industrial Technology KIT? That is Achyut Samanta. Option A. The Ghumara dance is believed to originate as war dance. Option B. Ghumuru was initially war dance performed with traditional drums and evolved into a folk form in Kalahandi. The Talcher region in Odisha known for its reserve of coal. Option B. The Chandan Yatra festival associated with which deity? That is Lord Jagannath. The official state flower of Odisha is Champa. Option B. Blue water lily, that is Champa, is designated as state flower of Odisha. The Kala Bhumi Museum in Odisha dedicated to art and craft. Option A, located in Bhubaneswar. In which year did Odisha receive GI tag for Kandamal Haldi? In which year Odisha received GI tag for Kandamal Haldi? It is in 2019. Option C. Which wildlife sanctuary is home to endangered black buck in Odisha? That is Balukhand Konark. Option A. Which food item of Odisha featured in UNESCO list of intangible cultural heritage? That is option C. Mahaprasad. The sacred food offered at Puri Jagannath Temple, Mahaprasad, hold immense cultural and spiritual value. The famous dance drama Gotipa is a precursor to which classical dance form? That is option B, Odissi. The Gopalpur port in Odisha lies along which coast? That is southern Odisha coast. Option C. Shahid Lakshman Naik Medical College is located in which district? That is option B, Koraput. What is the name of the traditional Odia game played during Markar Sankranti? That is Bagudi. Option D. The Utkal University of Culture is located at option B, Bhubaneswar. Danda Nato is a traditional festival that symbolizes worship of Shiva and Shakti. Option B. The Kotia dispute between Odisha and which neighboring state? Kotia and Andhra Pradesh. Option A. Tala Odissi is form of a prosecution style. Option A. The Odisha State Disaster Management Authority was formed after which major event? That is 1999 super cyclone. Option A. The Sunabada area in Odisha famous for MiG aircraft factory. It is HAL. Option B. The Hindustan Aeronautic Limited facility in Sunabada assemble aircraft and is a major defense industry hub. A. Chakradhar Behra. The Chakradhar Behra Stadium is located in which Odisha district? That is Mayurbhanj. Option A. Who designed the modern city Bhubaneswar? It is option B. Otto H. Cohen-Berger. Option B. The term Mo Sarkar initiative is related to option C. Citizen feedback for governance. Who was the first woman judge from Odisha to appoint to Supreme Court of India? That is no woman from Odisha yet. As of 2024, no woman from Odisha has been appointed to the Supreme Court of India. The Jagannath Ratha Yatra start from which temple in Puri? It is Jagannath temple. Option C. Which mineral in Odisha is top producer in India? That is chromite. Option D. The Barghad Buddha is a large pond. Option C. Who is known as Kavi Samrat in Odia literature? That is Upendra Bhanja. Option C. Upendra Bhanja known as Emperor of Poet, Kavi Samrat for his contribution in medieval Odia poetry. The Bhagavata Tungi movement was instrumental in spreading bhakti and moral education. Option C. Who wrote famous poem Bande Utkala Janani? That is Lakshmagant Mahapatra. Option A. Kalinga Lancer is associated with which sport? That is option C. Hockey. What is the name of the tribal jewelry making craft of Odisha? That is Dokra. Option A. The famous Taratarini temple located in which bank of river? That is option A. Rushikula. Raurkela steel plant was set up with collaboration from which country? That is option C. Germany. So here we completed 500 questions. MCQ 500 MCQ. Thank you. Please like the video and please subscribe the video.